All right, team, in this one, I'm going to be explaining how to do fast aerials. This is not just doing aerials, but quickly. A fast aerial is a specific mechanic in Rocket League. If you're playing on keyboard mouse, it might be uh, not translated 100% one-to-one because I'm going to talk about some controller specific things, but I think the concept still applies. There's plenty of other tutorials out there, so if you want something beyond my basic tutorial here, you can YouTube how to do fast aerials, and you will also find that. But I'm going to explain it my way because I think I can explain it pretty decently, so I'm going to head into free play here. And you can see my controller overlay. Um, but to do a fast aerial, you need to understand some basic mechanics of how Rocket League works. The main thing you need to understand first is that there are two jump heights in this game. There's a short hop and a full hop. I guess that's a Smash Brothers term, but the same thing applies here. If I quickly tap X, you see how high I jump? I guess there's multiple jump heights, not just two. But there's like a shorter hop when I'm just quickly tapping the button, and you see how high I go? And if I quickly double jump, you see how high I go? I don't quite reach the crossbar. But if I hold jump, just one jump, this is how high a full jump goes compared to a short jump. This is just a short jump. And a full jump if I'm holding it. That goes much higher. It's very important to note. So if I full jump and then double jump, I can almost reach the crossbar with that. And if I tilt my car back, the nose almost hits the crossbar there. See how high that goes? So that's the concept. This double jump, getting as high as you can, that's the concept you want to use for a fast aerial. Now, the important thing for an aerial is you're going to be able to do that while boosting the whole time. And so that wasn't a good way, that wasn't actually a fast aerial yet, because of what a fast aerial does is it takes advantage of the time that you're spent holding X, and it tilts back during that time. So that time you spend boosting while you're in your first jump and still holding X is actually boosting you upwards rather than forwards. So what a fast aerial actually looks like is this. I am waiting to do my second jump till after I've tilted back. So I'm jumping, tilting back, and then using my other jump. Now, if you're just standing still, it kind of pushes you backwards a little bit. That's okay, because that forward momentum is kind of going to be converted to upwards momentum when you're doing that and going forward. When you do it incorrectly, what you're going to, as you're learning this concept, you're going to backflip a lot accidentally. They call that feels backflip. Because it happens so much, it has a name. And the reason that happens is because you're tilting down and you're trying to do that second jump, but you're still holding down, so you backflip. So that's going to happen all the time. You have to jump, tilt back, let go of down, and then do your other jump. The way to simplify that, so here's kind of the final extrapolation of all this, is you can hold down. This is the super secret controller technique, because if you're on keyboard and you press S, it's going to slam on the brakes. You don't want to slam on your brakes. But a controller, you have a little bit of an advantage because you can hold down preemptively, because this isn't going to stop you. You can still drive around just fine holding down. And if you hold down and jump, it is immediately going to start tilting you back as soon as you jump. So you see how fast I can tilt back when I'm doing that? So really, you're going to want to hold down and jump at the same time, and imagine that as one input, and you're going to hold down for just a little bit, then let go basically after that. And then you're going to use your other jump. You're going to let go of down and press X a second time without any direction. So it's kind of the opposite of a backflip, because a backflip, you're going to not press a direction, jump, and then press down and X to do a backflip. You're going to kind of reverse those commands. You're going to down and jump, and then normal jump. And then if you do that while you're boosting, you've just fast aerialed. You've gotten into the air as fast as you can in the game of Rocket League. And that's an extremely important technique. I want you guys to practice this technique as often as you can on every aerial training pack. I'm going to go into a training pack now, one that I'll recommend. I'll have the code in the description of this video. And I want you guys to practice this and get into muscle memory. You should be able to do this without even thinking about it. I can do this literally with my eyes closed and know that I'm flying towards the ceiling. It should be muscle memory. You're going to be doing this 100 times a game. That motion right there. So now I'll go into a custom training pack and I'll talk about how I want you guys to practice, because it's important to, you can mess around in free play to practice that motion of getting up into the air, but it's also important to practice that as you're flying to a target, because all of aerial car control, I want that to be encompassed into everything. So it's this one called Basic Aerials by Floop, great YouTuber. And stay on ball cam. You want to practice doing this on ball cam. All these very simple. Don't worry as much about hitting the ball into the net. Just try to hit the ball as center as you can and as hard as you can. And I want you to focus on getting to the ball as fast as you can. You can keep rewatching this video even after you give it a couple tries and look at the point where I'm meeting the ball and how high the ball is in the air still, and maybe where you're meeting the ball, because maybe you're waiting for the ball to come down a little bit before you hit it. And try to push yourself to get to the ball as fast as you can. The more you boost, the sooner you're going to get there. So here's an example. I am just trying to hit the ball hard and kind of just into the backboard. So I just kind of reset it. Here's like the next one. Just hit it as hard as you can. Try to hit it with the nose of your car too, if you can, into the backboard. And just practice on all these different shots. And just keep switching around. This one's a little bit harder because it's at an angle, so you'll have to turn a little bit. This one as well. And just practice hitting the ball hard as you can. Something that might help you is you don't have to boost the whole way through. You can kind of feather your boost. It's going to slow you down a little bit, but in the end, you'll get a little bit more control. So if I was trying to shoot this, I would jump, get in the air, and then here I would start tapping my boost to kind of match the speed of my car to time the hit. So I would go here, and now I'm tapping my boost once I get in the air. Kind of tapping it to just control the speed of my car. And I would do this on like all of them. And luckily I have the fish boost, so you can kind of hear it pretty easily. And I want you to practice just hitting these balls hard and as fast as you can. Get there as fast as you can. And that's super important. Make sure you're not just memorizing the shots, just keep cycling between all of them. This one you can maybe even turn on the ground first before you jump, so you're not turning in the air. You want your line to the ball to be a straight line. But yeah, I think I cycled through all the shots. Just get there as fast as you can. You can rewatch this video and just practice this motion. You should be able to do it. Muscle memory with your eyes closed. I think that's super important. And I'll make a follow-up video for some other exercises for just controlling your car in the air and how to have better aerial control.